Would like to welcome Congressman Stutzman for being here today and to share on the ideas that impact America and the wages that we have seen reduced. What small businessman in America hasn't been taking a cut in pay in the last 5 to 2 years. So
yeah, thank you, Bob.
you bet.
Well, I just want to say that I'm here in support of Paula because what her leadership is going to bring to Fort Wayne is the fact that she's going to lead by example, and I think that is one of the things that people are expecting from those who are elected in office. That times are tough for people in their own pocketbook. They're looking for leadership, and I believe Paula is that type of person who's going to do that. When we're looking at Congress, we voted to cut our own budgets 5%, our salaries 5%, and even I voted to cut it even more than that. Believe that at a time when dollars are tight for families, we need to lead from the top, and I believe that's what Paula is going to do when the mayor here in Fort Wayne is making more money than what the Indianapolis mayor is making, the governor of the state of Indiana is making. I think it's important that there's a reevaluation of that situation, and Paula is already addressing it and talking about that, and that's why I think she will make a great leader for this city and for our communities here, because she recognizes that it's not about a salary, it's about serving the people in the city of Fort Wayne. So Paula, I commend you for that.
Well, thank you very much. And I talked about this in the primary and wanted to make the point that things are just out of whack in the city of Fort Wayne. We have the highest paid mayor in the state, but on average the lowest paid police force. And there's a real discrepancy there. There's a disconnect between the values and what the priorities are of city government. And I wanted to make an example of that, both to show the leadership, but also to make very clear that sacrifice will start at the top in my administration. So, thank you. Any questions?
I guess in general, do you not see the job of the mayor as having a value worth the salary the current mayor is making?
I think the best value is to be on a level with the other mayors in the state. The value is not in financial, but in the work that is done. And I want to set that example and be clear that I think it's important that sacrifice start right at the top, and that all employees of city government understand that I am in there with them on this. We're going to be making tough decisions in the upcoming years, and we're all part of a team.
And Congressman, that's when I know you mentioned the cuts and Paula obviously having him here, but even with that, I mean, his salary is still well above, base salary of $174,000, still well above the governor's, any mayor's. I mean, do you think that that's an appropriate salary, or?
You know what? I am not going to comment on the congressman's salary. I'm here to talk about what I think is important for the city of Fort Wayne. And I think that what's important is that the city of Fort Wayne and the leadership of the city of Fort Wayne be in line with what's appropriate to be paid for the other mayors in the state. Let's make an apples to apples comparison. The mayor of Indianapolis makes $95,000 a year. The mayor of South Bend makes $96,000 a year. Why is the mayor of Fort Wayne paid nearly $30,000 a year more, almost 30% more than any other mayor in the state? That is out of line. And you don't run for mayor because you're concerned about the income. You run for mayor because you're concerned about the city. That's the point I'm trying to get across.
If I could make this comment too about that, congressional salaries are voted on by 535 members of Congress. In this situation, the mayor, the governor, is the executive, and they can lead and actually fulfill a promise much easier than what I, as a member of Congress, can. As I said, I voted to cut my own salary, and but I have to convince 534 other members of Congress to agree with that. In this situation, that's why leadership at the top in an executive branch is so important, because you lead by example. She can make that decision. The mayor can make that decision and do it today and go to the council and have it approved. And so it is much easier for that correction to be made here than it is for any legislative body. And I've advocated for cutting our salaries. I voted for it. But for this situation and with the mayor's situation, at a time when people are struggling in Northeast Indiana, I think leadership in this with the mayor could be successful. He could be successful if he would lead on that issue.
And just logistically, if you were to win the election, would you be asking the lame duck council to lower the salary starting in 2012?
It will,
Legally, that's how it would have to happen.
well, they can't change the budget once it's done. What I'll do is I will return the salary for 2012. I'll write checks back to the city, and then we'll address it in the next budget cycle.
And what, I'm sorry, I don't know if it said specifically, what are you proposing cutting it to?
95,000.
Okay.
The same as the mayor of Indianapolis.
Okay, thank you.